Good morning, children. Today I will teach you classification of elements as metals and non-metals, and then physical properties of metals and non-metals, and at the end I will discuss few questions based on paragraph. So children, I request all of you to see the video till the end. Thank you. Dear children, elements are basically classified in two major groups, that is metals and non-metals. You can see in the given figure, that is the periodic classification of elements. In this figure you can find the pink color. The elements which are in pink color are known as metals, whereas elements which are in yellow color, they are known as non-metals. You can see in the figure some elements are in green color. So the elements which are lying at the border line of metals and non-metals, they are known as metalloids. That means these elements have some properties of metal as well as non-metals. Now let us discuss some examples of metals and non-metals. Here you can see silver, gold, iron, copper, all these are the examples of metals. Other than this, some more examples are sodium, potassium, calcium, then aluminium, magnesium, all these elements we can say they are metals. Whereas non-metals, examples of non-metals, carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, all these three non-metals, you can see they are in the solid form. Other than this, most of the non-metals, they are in gaseous state such as oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, hydrogen, all these are examples of non-metals. Now, children, let us discuss some physical properties of metals and non-metals. Under that, first physical property, that is the physical state of metal and non-metals. That means in which physical state, that is solid, liquid or gaseous state, do metals and non-metals occur in the nature. Dear children, metals are at room temperature in their solid state, like iron, aluminium, zinc, gold, silver, all these metals you can see in their solid state, except mercury. Mercury is the only one metal which you can find in its liquid state, whereas gallium, it is a soft semi-solid metal. Non-metals are generally in their gaseous state, such as chlorine, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, all they are in the gaseous state. Some of the non-metals, such as carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, iodine, they are in the solid form. Except bromine. Bromine is the only one non-metal which is present in liquid state. So the metals which is at liquid state at room temperature is mercury, whereas liquid non-metal is bromine. Now second physical property, that is melting point and boiling point. Children, metals generally have high melting point and boiling point, whereas non-metals they have low melting point and boiling point. The exception of metal which has low melting point, that is gallium and cesium, whereas non-metals which have high melting points are diamond and graphite. Next physical property, that is density. Density means mass per unit volume. So metals have very high density, whereas non-metals they have low density. Malleability and ductility properties. Malleability. Already you have learned in your junior class malleability. That means the property by which metals can be beaten into thin sheet is known as its malleable property, whereas ductility property is the property due to which the metals can be drawn into wires. So all the metals which are in solid state, they are malleable and ductile. Again here exception case, that is sodium, potassium, they are not malleable and ductile. Whereas non-metals, they are neither malleable nor ductile. For example, if you take a diamond and beat it, it can be broken down into smaller pieces. That means they are brittle in nature, not malleable and ductile. Fifth physical property, that is electrical and thermal conductivity. Metals, dear children, they are good conductor of heat and electricity. And this conductivity of metals are due to the presence of free electrons. Whereas non-metals, they are generally poor or bad conductor of heat and electricity except graphite. Graphite is the only one non-metal which is good conductor because in graphite, in its structure, each carbon atom, graphite, it is a form of carbon. So in its structure, molecular structure, the graphite, each carbon atom has one free electron, and due to that free electron, graphite is a good conductor. Diamond, it is also a form of carbon, but there is no free electron and hence diamond is a poor conductor. Luster. Luster means shining properties. Most of the metals, they possess shining properties. That means they are luster in nature. Whereas non-metals, they are not luster other than iodine. Iodine is a non-metal but it has a shining appearance. Sonorous property by which it produces a ringing sound. So the metals gives sonorous properties because when we struck it produces a ringing sound. Whereas non-metals, they does not give the sonorous sound. Hardness. Metals are generally hard. Again here exception, sodium and potassium, they are soft metals. Whereas non-metals are generally soft. Here exception is diamond. Diamond is the hardest known substance. Even the metals and non-metals, if you compare, diamond is one of the hardest known substance, where other than rest all the non-metals, they are soft in nature. Children, in my next video, I will teach you about the chemical properties of metals. But before teaching you chemical properties of metal, I would like all of you to learn by heart or recall the reactivity series of metals. What is reactivity series of metals? Already I taught you under the topic displacement reaction. So let us recall once again what is reactivity series of metals and how do the metals are arranged in this series. So the arrangement of metals in a vertical column in the order of decreasing reactivities is called reactivity series of metals. In this series, children, you can see the metal potassium, which is the most reactive metal, is placed at the top, and platinum, which is the least reactive metal, is placed at the bottom. That means the arrangement of metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity in the column, that is known as reactivity series of metals. In this series, potassium followed by sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, and finally platinum is placed here in this series. Now children, you can see we are talking about the reactivity series of metals. But here you can see the hydrogen. And you know what is hydrogen? Yes, hydrogen, it is a non-metal. So when we are talking about the reactivity series of metal, why hydrogen, it is a non-metal and been placed in this series? Let us discuss about this. Though hydrogen is not a metal, but even then it has been placed in the reactivity series of metal. This is due to the fact that, like metals, hydrogen also loses electron to form positively ion or positive charged ion, H plus ion. Children, already you have learned sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. They can lose one or more electrons to form corresponding positive ion. So we can say metal with the loss of electron can form M plus ion. And as the metal is forming M plus ion, likewise, you can see the likewise hydrogen as well can lose electron to form H plus ion, and hence it is also placed in the reactivity series of metal. Dear children, let us discuss few questions based on the paragraph. Paragraph 1. Majority of the known elements are metals which are characteristics quite different, rather opposite to those of non-metals. A few borderline elements like arsenic, antimony, Sb, bismuth, Bi have the characteristics of both. That means these elements have the characteristics of both metals as well as non-metals. And these elements, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, are known as semi-metals or metalloids. Metals, they have shining luster, malleable and ductile, good conductor of heat and electricity, and have high melting and boiling points. Just now all these properties you have learned under the physical properties. The relative reactivity of the metals is linked with the activity or reactivity series. Dear children, the reactivity series of metals is also known as activity series of metals, in which the potassium is placed at the top is maximum reactive, while platinum placed at the bottom of the series is least reactive metals. Now let us discuss the questions. Question number 1. Name the metal which is liquid at room temperature. So answer for this question, mercury is the one metal which is liquid at room temperature. Question number 2. Name two metals which readily catch fire in water. The two metals, that is sodium and potassium, readily catch fire in water. In detail, I will teach once again under the chemical properties of metals. Aluminium is placed high up in the reactivity series, but it is not quite reactive. Children, if you remember, already we have learned this one under the chemical reactions and equations. Aluminium, when it exposed to air, it will form a thin layer of aluminium oxide over it, which prevent it further reaction. And due to this passive layer of aluminium oxide on the surface of metal, the aluminium is not quite reactive. Question number 4. Metals that are called coinase metals. So the metals like copper, silver and gold, they are known as coinase metals because all these metals in the ancient time used for making coins, and hence these metals are known as coinase metals.